This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Jeremy Wolf.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Good Neighbor Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremy Wolf, and I am joined by Robbi Auerbach with LoKation Real Estate. Robbi is the team leader of the Baar Group. Is that, did I get it right? The Baar team?
Correct. The Baar Group, we raise the bar in real estate. Yes.
Baar Group, raising the bar in real estate. I just finished an interview with a mortgage lender from PRMG. So it's fitting to have a real estate agent on after a mortgage broker. I think we could talk a little bit about some of the same things that are going on with the state of the market right now. So Robbi, thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
That's our pleasure. And thanks to our listeners for tuning in. So let's get into this. Tell us a little bit about your business, Robbi.
Well, as you mentioned, I am the team leader of the Baar Group, founded the team in 2000. We are a top producing group of agents serving Broward, Dade, and Palm Beach counties, helping people to buy, sell, rent, and invest in real estate.
So 2000, you got connected with LoKation Real Estate, yes?
Actually, no, I was not with LoKation then. This is my 11th year of in real estate. So I was on my own as a single agent for quite some time, and then decided to form a team in 2000. And then in 2001, we actually moved over to LoKation from another brokerage.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your journey leading up to real estate. What's your background prior to that? How did you get into real estate?
Sure. So my previous life, I was in corporate advertising and marketing. So I would sell everything from Papa John's Pizza to Miami Dolphin games to Gulfstream Park Entertainment. And I transitioned into private consulting after having my second child, and was actually hired to help a large real estate team rebrand. At some point during that time, they asked me to join the team, and I went and got my real estate license. I never looked back, and I actually never joined the team on that particular team. Went on my own instead, and started my career just a couple of months later.
So, what is going on with the state of the market right now here? We've had quite an interesting ride post-COVID. Obviously, properties were selling like crazy. It seems that things have kind of stabilized a little bit, but obviously values are still inflated. Pull out your crystal. I always tell this to realtors. Pull out your crystal ball. Let us know what we can expect next 6 months, 12 months, moving forward.
Sure.
Where are we going?
Sure. Myself and all of the rest of the experts that can predict the future. Look, we are in a unique market still. There is some stability in the sense that we have more inventory on market now. I believe as these interest rates come down, which they will eventually come down, not to 2% again, but they will come down, that we'll see more buyers enter the market, and we will see not a return to our COVID time frame, but more buyers competing for the same properties, and probably some price increases in those particular properties that are move-in ready. We've been in a unique market for the last 4 years, and you said inflated. We call it market value, not inflated value, because the value has stayed. There was a slight dip after rates initially went up, but we've really seen those prices stabilize. And properties that are overpriced are sitting on market, which is not abnormal, and prices that are well priced and with not much to do or appropriately priced if they do need renovation are selling. So I predict that will continue, and we'll see just more multiple offer scenarios in the future with more buyers re-entering the market.
So what do you like to do for fun when you're not working? I know prior to the show, you mentioned you have a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old. Maybe talk a little bit about your family and what you guys like to do for enjoyment.
So actually, I've tried to pick up pickleball, which is I'm failing miserably at it. It's really hard to allocate a couple of hours in a day to go and play. But as far as the family, it is difficult now that I have two teenagers and one away at school. But we do try to create travel experiences. We're working on a couple of fun vacations right now for the next few months, and we try to hang out, watch games, watch movies, things like that.
Where you're looking to go on vacation?
We're actually going to be going to Alaska, and we're going to this should be fun. A bunch of Floridians in Alaska is fantastic, but we're also going to be heading to New York to see our favorite band, the Foo Fighters, play up there as well. So. Yeah.
Nice. You're gonna.
We share the one thing that is consistent in my family is we all share very similar music taste.
So up in Alaska, you're gonna experience a little ice bath in the cold, or what?
I'm going to try to avoid that at all costs, but no, we're going to do some sledding, gold panning, hike through some of the national parks up there. Just try to enjoy an environment that's drastically different than the one that we live in.
It'll be your first time going there, yeah?
To Alaska, yes, yeah, for all of us. So we're excited. We have to plan accordingly though, and go clothes shopping because we certainly do not have the appropriate outerwear for our adventure. But we're all very excited about it.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I would definitely be experiencing some ice baths up there. I love a good ice bath every once in a while. Very invigorating.
No way.
Yes.
way.
You gotta
Where
try
are you
it.
from? Are you from Florida?
I mean, I'm originally from New York, but I've been down here most of my life. I've just, I don't know. I've taken to several years ago. I jumped in an ice bath and I just found it invigorating, really wonderful for mental health in terms of.
Really?
It's hard to explain what it is, but when you get in the ice, you feel like you get the fight or flight response and something tells you like, get out or I'm going to die. And if you're able to get past that, it's not going to kill you and you're able to kind of breathe past it. And there's a lot of parallels for that and dealing with stress in life and overcoming obstacles. And it's just been, I don't do it enough, unfortunately. I've been meaning to get a tub for the house here so I can go. I just can't think of a better way to start my day than to get up in the morning and just jump in an ice bath for a couple of minutes. If you start the day off with that kind of stress, everything is just that much easier going through the day.
Maybe I'll do that as a team outing. We'll all go take ice baths together.
It is, again, I highly recommend it. At least trying it once and seeing what it's all about. It's definitely good for you.
Well, I will take your advice on that, but not falling through the ice in Alaska. I'll try to avoid that and maybe just.
I must say though, I've never done it in a super cold climate like that. So it's always been where, I mean, I've done it, I guess in the mountains of, it was up in Tennessee and it was kind of cold outside, but it was like 45, 50 degrees outside. I couldn't imagine doing it. It was negative 20 degrees and you jump in.
Oh my gosh. No, we're not going to be there when it's that cold. No, we're not going to be there when it's that cold.
So talking about stressful situations and going back, looking back through your journey, is there something that comes to mind, a life hardship or challenge that you faced along the way, something that you struggled with that today you could say was maybe either a defining moment or you're just grateful for having gone through that experience because it helped teach you a life lesson?
Look, losing my mother 5 years ago was probably the biggest challenge I ever dealt with. The takeaway from that, watching the disease take over so quickly, the real takeaways are truly appreciating your health and your family, and really focusing on both as the your only assets that truly matter. And, since my mother's passing, we really focused on these trips together so that we can spend quality time because, tomorrow's not guaranteed. So unfortunately, that was a hardship. It wasn't something that, had a positive result, if you will, only in the sense that it just brought more awareness and focus to family and health.
Yeah, it's hard to put, to take positives out of a horrible experience like that. But like you said, it gives you a deeper appreciation for life.
Exactly.
Gives you gratitude for what we have. And one of the things I've started to realize on the north side of 40, time is fleeting, right? We don't have much time on this earth.
Exactly.
And we really need to, I've been really focused on trying to be more present and not worrying so much about the future and not dwelling so much on what happened in the past and just try to enjoy, because we do control our own suffering to some degree. And we have the capacity
100%.
there's, it's so funny. I was just talking to a friend of mine, I think yesterday, the day before, about how, when those days happen where everything seems to go wrong and, and it just seems like nothing can go
Murphy's
right.
Law.
I think the difference, I think the difference between a day like that and a day where everything seems to go right is just where you focus your attention. Because even on the days where everything seems to go right, there are things that go wrong. You just don't give it any attention. You don't shine a light on those times. And it's just really a matter of perspective. And then the more positive you get, and the more you shine a light on the positive, the more you start to look for positives instead of negatives. And then good things start to come to you. And so
focus is key. Perception and focus is key. Yeah, absolutely.
So before we wrap up here, Robbi, what's the one thing that you'd like to leave our listeners with, that you'd like them to know about your business?
I'm so happy you asked, because there's a lot in the media that has been discussed about realtors recently. The main misconception is that we show pretty homes and 30 days later, a property miraculously closes. There is so much more to what we do. We are mediators, problem solvers, negotiators, psychologists, marriage counselors. We become subject matter experts on the spot, trying to figure out insurability issues, permit issues, the challenges of managing expectations and emotions. And there is a tremendous amount involved in a real estate transaction that many of the steps go unseen. And, I think there's just a general misconception that, of what we do and how we do it. And, a full-time professional real estate agent works diligently behind the scenes to make sure you get to the closing table.
Yeah. Some might say it's a pretty important decision, right? Buying probably one of the most expensive things that you'll buy in your life. So definitely important to have an experienced realtor that has a good team in place to walk you through that process, especially if you're a first-time home buyer and you've not been through this before, right?
I would say with any purchase now, to be honest. I mean, someone who purchased a property just a few years ago, they're not dealing with the same insurability issues that we're dealing with today. They're different issues than what we were dealing with just a couple of years ago. So I think it's vital for anyone going through a real estate transaction to have a professional by your side to guide you, to look out for your best interests, and to protect you. And, look, you don't go into court without an attorney. You don't, well, some people file with their taxes without a CPA, but, a lot of times that doesn't work out for them. But we do this day in and day out. We know the pitfalls. We try to avoid them at all costs. And we work diligently to look out for the best interests of our clients. And, we work hard for our clients. And, it's just, it's something that we enjoy. As you mentioned, we talked about stress. It's incredibly stressful. But I couldn't see doing anything else, honestly.
Yeah. And then if you're buying a property, important to have a really good team around you, because it shouldn't be a stressful process for the buyer, right? Like leave that up to.
Oh no, absolutely no. It's stressful and all. No, it's stress for the buyer, it's stress for the seller. But we try to make it as easy as possible.
Exactly. And that's the thing, right? It is a stressful experience, but if you have the right team in place, if you have a realtor that you trust, that you work with, that has your best interest at heart, you have a mortgage broker, you have all these different people in your network, and you just trust them to do the right thing for you, that process can become a lot less stressful. So it's
absolutely
surround yourself by a good team. So.
And we hear the nightmare stories, by the way. Sometimes we're the second agent in, and we hear what happens. So, to your point, it's imperative to have professionals working by your side.
Robbi, how can we learn more? Please share your contact information. Let our listeners know how we can reach you.
Sure. You can head to our website, www.thebaargroup.com.
All right. Very good. We will, of course, link in the description to all of your contact information so anyone can reach out if they have any questions. Robbi, thanks so much for coming on the show. It was a pleasure getting the opportunity to meet you and learn all about your business. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Jeremy, for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, the pleasure sits on this side of the screen. And thanks, as always, to our listeners for tuning in. And we will catch everyone next time. Take care. Have a great day.
And I'll try the ice bath, I promise.
Yes. Report back to me. Let me know what you think. All right.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast, Cooper City. To nominate your favorite local business to be featured on the show, go to gnpcoopercity.com. That's gnpcoopercity.com, or call 954-231-3170.